notes will commence December 15 last year. The new and existing currencies will remain legal tender and circulate together until January 31, 2023, when existing currencies shall cease to be legal tenders. Now, Emefiele insisted the January 31 deadline remains sacrosanct, adding that the 100 days provided for people to deposit existing banknotes in commercial banks was adequate. But Senate last week urged the CBN to extend the withdrawal date of old currency notes from January 31 to June 30, 2023. And however, analyst interviews also noted the new notes had not been easily accessible to Nigerians since they were introduced. Also said the CBN is to increase awareness of the currency redesign. Many markets, women and rural dwellers are currently in legal tender. What we're discussing this development right now, I'm asking you, what is the outlook on the deadline for the phasing out of the old Naira notes? What's been your experience so far? What do you project would possibly happen as the deadline approaches? And how is it affecting you, all the economy at large? But our phone for this conversation as well is Michael Ogbaa. He's a co-founder, chief executive officer, managing director of Sytiamo Limited. He's also a composite banker, economist, former head agency banking with the Access Bank Group with 22 years of banking history as well. He's joined me via phone from Lagos. Michael Ogbaa, good evening to you and welcome to Hard Facts.
Good evening, Dayo, and good evening to all your listeners. It's my pleasure to be here.
I should say Happy New Year to you as well. It's our first conversation on the show this year.
Yes, same to you and to your listeners.
So, Michael, just late last year, when the whole currency redesigning was announced and the deadlines were given, a couple of things actually, not just currency redesign, but new withdrawal limits were announced by the CBN as well. The phasing out of the old currencies, deadlines were given for their obsoleteness, and a couple. We discussed. We had several discussions on these matters late last year. So we're simply continuing what you may consider to be our watch on the situation, or countdown, if you will, to when these deadlines eventually are upon us. Thanks for being there last year, and thank you for joining this year as well. So without further ado, let's get right to it then. With the January 31 deadline approaching, how has the new policy affected the economy so far? You are currently the head of a micro lending institution, so you deal directly with the market, women, and those in the lower economic parts of the pyramid, if you will, they're the ones who it was said are going to be gravely or most negatively affected by this. And beyond that, I'm sure you still have ties with the mainstream banking industry as well. So you know what's going on with the big companies as well. So how has this policy affected the economy far?
Thank you, Dayo. For us, as all our transactions are cash-based because we deal with field officers to take cash and give them cash, and when it's time for repayment, we also go to market, collect from them, pay to the company, and that has been our cycle. But you ask a very, very important question. What has been like? We are on the 3rd day of January, and between now and that day that the first out will happen, we don't essentially get the cash anymore. So if you want to follow from us going forward, you need to have of your account number, and we'll do all the necessary things we need to do to your account, and there should be some documentation around it and all that. I don't want to go into it. So yes, it's going to affect our of the invasion of the
yes.
Also is that are very, very skeptical about so I go to a bank to collect, assuming I typically get 30,000, 40,000 every week just for spending. Maybe I want to buy fuel, I want to pay for this, pay for that. I've reduced it to 10 to 15,000. Why? Because if I hold that money to the end of that time, it will become useless. So I'm very cautious. I know that every passing day, any money that is found with me on that deadline date will become a problem for me. So I'm not alone. Typically, Nigerians are beginning to only hold much money as they can spend within a given period in time, so that should that deadline be met and CBN puts their foot down and say after today it becomes worthless, nobody wants to be caught snapping. So it's beginning to affect everything everybody does. Those that collect or more cash, they quickly.
You've said some of the financial behaviors of Nigerians have changed, no doubt. Like you said, some
Yes.
persons no longer handle as much cash as they may have before now. In your, microfinance banks also are having to reformat the processes in their dealings with their customers and all of that. And barring those persons who have problems accepting the new notes, it doesn't seem like. Would I be right to say that there's been no major effect, or especially of a negative kind, on the economy? If anything, maybe the CBN is recording successes as far as compliance is concerned. Would I be right to say that?
You are right, Dayo. A lot of people, some have gone to bring out their money where they have hidden them. We've noticed that as well. And there is this frequency. They collect what they can use, they pay back what they are not going to use. So that turnover is beginning to happen, both in the conventional bank and the microfinance institutions.
Now, the CBN is insisted on the January 31 deadline for the retirement of the old notes. In your estimation, is this feasible?
Yeah, Dayo, as a Nigerian, I know that, again, it might be traced to the military background of our civilian rule. People only obey the last order. If you say, oh, okay, CBN is likely going to extend it by 1 week, you will see people will relax. They won't take it serious. But the moment CBN says, this deadline is this deadline, believe you me, nobody will be caught snapping. Nigerians, one way or the other, including those in the villages, will find a way to ensure that they don't have one old Naira with them within that period. And secondly, this is not a prophecy. It's something that you will notice. Once we enter 15th January,
the National Assembly is more or less demanding the CBN extends that deadline, I think, to June or something of that nature. I'm asking, from your professional standpoint as a banker of well over 2 decades now, where do you stand? The National Assembly's position that we need to extend it, or do you stand with the CBN that we need to stick to the January 31 deadline?
Okay, I have 2 answers. One, I will speak as citizen Michael Ogbaa. Speaking for myself, I will go with CBN and say, let's do it once and for all. There is no need postponing the evil day. If it's going to affect us, just like surgery, let's do the surgery and live with our life. That is me speaking as Michael Ogbaa, citizen. But speaking from experience as a Nigerian that have witnessed so many of these policies, topsy and up and down, I can say for a fact that the chances of the deadline being extended is high. Why do I say so? Even the amount is going to be stubbornly serious. I have a high probability that deadline will not be met.
But from your, once again, citizen Ogbaa believes that we should stick to the January 31 deadline.
Yeah. If they could get away with amounts that people can withdraw, reason.
Michael, please hold the thought. I've got a commercial break. government will intensify. When I'm asking you, what outlook on the time for the phasing out of the Naira conflict in Nigeria in for period? Just like I've dropped those in a moment. But join me over phone for the conversation that is being exchanged. And I asked,
I do not know how much the National Assembly member, both as a salary, allowances, and all that. It is still shrouded in secrecy, even when we have the information act. So they cannot on the bank to it one way or the other. If you say on that day that every single old currency is the legal process, whatever evil plans they are used for that venue. That's what is running. Here is an easy call you person. What you them consume is the work in their favor. About politicians, this has to do with everything. I'm not having enough time, but I'll just point out as we speak, test my leg gone in MFA is not in the court. Why has he said that he's sick and not here? There are some information in social media that yesterday or the other hand saying some level of tweeting the other part of the with another thing is not very easy to especially that best Nigeria. Don't take chances.
The changes that Nigerians are in right now, or the concerns that they have regarding this policy as well, is the ability of the notes as well. I mean, did the find even I guess is in Lagos as well, and even other major cities. Most of the parties in the part of the country. Now, does this mean scarcity of the new notes? Any challenge to the implementation? They said.
I've been going visiting the banking hall to just see if we get there. I've never touched the new note as we speak, not because I don't want to touch, it's because it's not available. Yes, like I said, I don't know if it is by design or by, I don't know. The truth is that, yes, it's going to pose a big problem. I've tried to rationalize it to say, why is it that case? And my conclusion are, I have three reasons. This is me personally. This is my personal opinion. Number one, remember the deputy governor, CBN governor, Aisha, was at the National Assembly, and she specifically asked, how much this currency is the CBN print? Can you tell us in volume-wise how many was printed? And she said, I'll get back to you because I don't want to give you wrong information. I don't have that information as we speak. I don't know if she has gone back to give them that information. But I think beyond giving them that information, I think she has another reason why she didn't make it public. The other side of that question is, you should now tell us that in volume, 100 million pieces were printed. The second question would then be, how much does it cost to print each one? When you tell us, we'll do the math and say, okay, it means that you must have spent this amount to print this volume. You get the permission to do so. After the institution of the Catholic of the independence of the CBN, there are no amounts they are need to spend with operation. It has to go through the body, the money, and the printing. Which approvals you receive, did not they have not made the money available in the quantity we expected. Remember, they need to coincide with reducing the number of house. So if they make it available, people will still use it to do whatever they do. Or if there is case, remember that how do they say mother of invasion? If I'm supposed to pay Dayo on January 1st, 2023, and since the almost seen to the legal change of transferring the money to that and finding evidence to say, sorry, I'm not what is important to transfer. So all will be for some way or the other. Without doing transactions, electronic without necessarily, I think it's nothing as addition. They know what they do without necessarily using cash. In my way, people also cause a problem for them to control. That takes me to the last point, which is they are somewhere locking. If they are locking CBN, it might have get it back.
Again, that's all objection now. Possibility of being delivered. I think some is 500,000 for now. If the new Naira notes and hypothesis of that responded, if the Naira notes is in is in large circulation right now. Since minimum withdrawal is yet effective, correct me wrong about that.
Yes.
Minimum withdrawal is not effective yet. If the new Naira note are in large circulation, means that people are to withdrawing 170 billion Naira in one day, or sneeze in luxury or uninhabited luxury apartments, or stashing monies ahead in coffins at cemeteries, might still go to them and withdraw their homes or some other location, and they store.
They now found an ingenious way of finding out that cash withdrawal limit is their constituency's problem. How did they connect to the constituency? When did they even get to the constituency to find out that withdrawal limit is their constituency's problem and not the fuel scarcity? If they can provide me with that answer, then I can exonerate them. Ordinarily, I think they are